Hello, everybody. My name is Greg Lewis. Welcome to my podcast. It's called Are You Related to Harry or Meghan? But today's episode is different. It's called Looking for Your Family Members. And with me is a guest. Her name is Nicole Banks. Nicole, tell us about yourself and what are you looking for in this podcast?
Sure. Thanks, Greg, for having me. My story is a bit complicated, and so I am looking for any help to kind of fill in the pieces. My dad was adopted. He was born in Corpus Christi, Texas in 1953. I know that he was born out of wedlock and was given to the neighbor. And the neighbor's family was a Filipino family who adopted him. There are rumors that it was a marriage was facilitated so that the adoption didn't have to go through the county or, whatever organization. But I can't find any sort of marriage records that indicated that was the case. I was interested, throughout my life being the child of someone adopted, trying to find family. And there was rumblings that my dad wasn't adopted, but he was an illegitimate child of the Filipino family. So about 10 years ago, I took a DNA test to see if I had any Filipino blood in me. And I received the test, and nope, all white all the time. So, there was no way that I was related to the adopted family.
Wow, I have 1% Filipino in my DNA.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is.
So, I kind of tabled my journey. I wasn't part of the Filipino family. I didn't have enough information for me to find someone, and so I was kind of stuck. 2 years later, I got a message from a user on Ancestry, which is where I took the DNA test through, and said, "Hey, can you help me learn this system? I'm confused." And I was like, "Look, there's a help section, good luck." And 2 weeks later, I got another message from the same user, says, "Look, I'm a little confused. You have the same name as me. You have the same dad and grandmother as me, but the birthday's wrong. Why did you create a profile for me?" And I'm like, that is my name, my dad, my grandmother, and my birth date. So we ended up messaging back and forth, and through a discussion on the phone, I found out that I had a half-sister that I never knew about. Her name, funny enough, is also Nicole. And we learned that my dad, was in a relationship that I knew nothing about. I was raised to be the oldest child, and through some finding out of some family lore, I found out that I was not one of two, which I previously thought. I was 5 out of 6.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so the family drama happens, it seems every generation, unfortunately, for our family. But with, finding Nicole, I was able to cross-reference the DNA matches that we had in common. And, then, because at that point Ancestry couldn't do the mother and father's side, so I was able to find some family members that we shared on the father's side, and through the public records was able to kind of distill who I believe to be my grandparents. Now, as Ancestry, his technology has continued to improve. It is corroborating my story about my grandpa being correct, but when it comes to my grandmother, there are still a lot of questions. My dad searched for her in the 90s in the white papers and all of that to no avail. I've done some searching, but the DNA isn't corroborating what I'm finding. So that's kind of where I'm stuck. And I would love to see if you had any sort of, suggestions, or, if your listeners knew anything. So again, my dad was born in 1953 in Corpus Christi, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And the suspected last name was Barker or Baker.
Uh-huh.
And her first name was Clyde, like Bonnie and Clyde, but, a woman's name. And she supposedly was neighbors to a Filipino household, last name Mascarenas. And that's kind of where I'm stuck. I would love to find my dad's family due to a lot of health concerns and health issues that seem to be genetic. And then obviously, with finding my half sister and then my other half siblings, I would love to kind of see what cousins and all of that I could potentially have. Like I said, I kind of know the grandpa, but the family has been very hush. It looks like it was an extramarital affair while he was stationed on the base there next to Corpus Christi is kind of the lore that I've been able to eke out. He has since passed away, so I can't ask him. And so that's kind of where I'm stuck. What I perceive to be my grandpa, his name is Charles Harold Levins. So that's kind of where I'm at, where I'd love to get some help, and I'll kick it back to you.
Yeah, okay. That's an interesting story. Yeah, I know how it is trying to find a lost family member. Even my great-grandfather, his name was George Lewis. So I couldn't find, first it started out as, in the census, George Shakespeare, and it says his mother name was Charlotte Shakespeare, but it didn't give who his father was. But by going through different census, people gotta have census. They vote, and Social Security. Those are some of the things you can look at. Mm-hmm. But I was unable to find him, and I can't find him today because he changed his name so much. I can't find a death certificate, and I cannot find a birth certificate.
Wow.
But the thing you can do is, like, if you can go to the library and the genealogy department, they can help you there to your local library, and it's free, so you don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah, I mean, he was born in Corpus Christi, so, I mean, I'd have to travel or, connect with him virtually. But, yeah, that's something I haven't tried.
But or you can, request information sent to you from that library. Yeah. Yeah, you can do that. And there's also, those things, everybody has a paper trail. But it's the matter of finding it. But...
And I mean, with me not knowing who the person is, it's, kind of starting at, square one for sure.
Sure. That's right. That's true. But I had the same thing again with another member, and that was with my great-grandfather on my mom's side. I was told, oh, yeah, they're Italians or this. And I said, no, that can't be true. So I had to hire a genealogist from a website called Upwork, and she didn't charge very much. If anything, it would probably be 60 or 80, something like that, but it's not that much. But she will look for to go through, because genealogists, they're trained and they know where to look. So that's one thing I would try.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
And another thing you could do is to go to family, your state historical societies, there's these library they have, and they got all the state histories and stuff like that. They keep all kinds of different documents and where people live and that. You can try that as well. So more things you try, the better off you'll be.
For
And
sure.
do you? I think the Mormons have something. I forgot what it's called. Family Search. Yeah, I think that's the name of it. From the Mormon Church. It's free too. You can go online and just start. I don't pay anything.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll check that one out too. I know that my mom's sister is Mormon, and so she's done a lot of the search on that side of the family and that whole bit. But I didn't think about using it for my dad's side.
Yeah, you possibly could. They have a whole bunch of things too. Like one may have one thing, and another one may have another thing, and so you got to piece it all. It's like a puzzle. Like somebody take a puzzle and just throw it all over the place, and you got to try to find how to fit it together. And I tell you, it's rough. It really is rough, and it's frustrating too. I can tell you, I've been frustrated a lot. Yeah, you want to pull your hair out. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and if anything, if you go to the library and go to the genealogy department and tell them the same thing you told me, they'll be able to give you some directions what to do. So, yeah, that would be great. So you should do that as well.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, I didn't think about contacting the local resources there. So yeah, I'm excited to kind of jump on that and see what I can find.
Right. And then you'll have and then they'll be able to you can also get things for other libraries. There's another thing. It's the library in Washington D.C. I can't think the name of it right now. Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyway, yeah, you can get that from Library of Congress. Yeah, I'm sorry, that's what it is.
Oh, okay.
My brain goes beep.
Yeah, no worries.
And anyway, that's where you can get. They got a whole bunch of stuff too. And if you ever watch Louis Gates, Finding Your Roots,
I love that show.
right. That's where he gets his information too, because they have a lot of information. But there's somebody out there, I believe, that can help you and that probably know you. Even if somebody hearing this now, hopefully they'll be able to get in contact with you. Let's cross our fingers on that one.
For sure. If anybody has any information, they can email me. My email is N as in Nancy, D as in dog, B as in boy. So ndb8284@gmail.
Right. Yes. So if anybody out there, yes, thank you. And if anybody out there wants to help her, even if you have a suggestion, you can leave it in the comments. And then I'll give it back to her, so she'll get to pick up your information. If you know her or heard of this case, her relatives, then be sure to do that as well. And is there anything else you wanted to say? Could you give us any more information that that people may are curious about or anything like that?
So, like I mentioned, we believe the grandpa to be Charles Harold Levins. I know that he was a twin. So, that may put a wrinkle into who we think that our grandpa is. And so that may, obviously with different partners and that whole bit, lead to, different connections. I know that, through using the through lines on Ancestry, it shows that, with who I have chosen as, the grandmother is Mildred Claudine Barker, but there's 0 DNA results to her from myself, Nicole, or her children. In addition to, her parents and grandparents, I can't find a DNA match in common at all. So that is kind of where, the family tree makes sense, but the DNA doesn't. And so, yeah, I mean, I would love to partner with anyone who's bored and wants to help. It's been a dream of mine to be able to find her. My grandmother and grandfather, being the child of an adopted parent, obviously being adopted, then, is their own struggle with being the child or descendant of is its own struggles, in addition to that. So yeah, I would really love to find these people and would love any help.
Okay, yes. I think you got a good plan of what you're going to do. Now you know what to do, all the things I suggest. And hopefully,
I really appreciate that, Greg.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for coming. If you have nothing else to say, then thank you very much. And
of course.
Yeah, be sure to, people out there, be sure to go to her email. If you have any information you can give her, that's important. She wants to know about it. It's important. Everybody wants to know who their family is, like I did. So it takes a while, and sometimes goes through the ancestry and all that. People, different relatives will put their genealogy stuff, into that. So it takes a while for people to do that. So it took me maybe 3 years before getting hits. I got hits like crazy when it all came together. So it'll take a while. And so, And so thank you for coming. And my name is Greg Lewis. And be sure to subscribe and comment. And also, I made a mistake on the last podcast. I left out Nathaniel Green and one of my family tree, General Nathaniel Green. So be sure to listen to that podcast to know what I'm talking about. But I'll see you the next time, and thank you very much. Bye-bye.